This is your announcer, Shannon Saint Mainframe, welcoming you to our IPA Livecast. Rob is finally back in New York, and not a moment too soon. The bathhouses in Orlando just weren't up to his standards. Nobody should have to witness an oiled-up, goofy, and tidy white ease. Our IPA Livecast starts now.
You're muted.
The worst
Rob.
part about that is that it was a nude sauna, and Goofy just wouldn't take off his. It's just bad etiquette. But then it's like, I didn't want to see Goofy's private, so either way, it was a law.
I thought you were the Goofy. No,
What?
you're the top. I'm sorry.
I did not attend any Orlando bathhouses while I was there. There was only one, to be clear. Boring. I forget what it was called. But welcome to the Metal Injection Livecast.
It was called Epcot Center, by the way.
It's episode 662. Well, the gays are mad at Disney right now.
Didn't the guy apologize?
Well, so you know how in Florida, welcome to the show, by the way, before we get into that, welcome to the show. And I do want to mention our phone lines are back up. If you want to give us a call, it's 213 Wide Nut. That's 213-943-3688. And you can give us a call and be a part of the show. And we'd love to hear from you.
How long have we had Wide Nut? Has that been like 5 years already?
At least,
Possibly.
right? I think it's been
but yeah, so in Florida, they're trying to pass this really dumb don't say gay bill. That's obviously not what the government is marketing it as, but essentially you're not allowed to mention any sort of homosexual activities up to third grade, or even acknowledge, I guess, even if like the child has gay parents, they can't talk about it in class or be asked about it. And if they are, the teacher's supposed to report it, and then their parents get called. It's just a really dumb fucking bill.
So the way it's the kids can't say it, or the teachers can't say it, or both.
Both. Nobody's allowed to talk about it. I mean, I guess they're not going to get suspended, but if they say something, if the children say something, you're supposed to report it.
And what is the penalty for saying some gay things?
That I do not know. But seeing as though Disney is the largest employer in Florida, and looking at their donation records, they've been donating to the senators who are peddling this prejudice bill.
Mm-hmm.
So
State
the gay
right?
State senators, correct. And so the gays were like, hey, Disney, you're all about pandering to us. You have like these gay days at Disney World and try to pretend you're all inclusive, put your money where your mouth is. Mm-hmm. And step up for us, say something. And Disney's first response was the most hilarious corporate response that it was like unbelievable meme bait, which was essentially they're like, we're not going to stop donating to senators, we're not going to say anything, but we're going to up our LGBT inclusion in our movies to have more representation or some shit like that. Like that's going to make a difference. And obviously that was not enough, and I guess it got so much blowback that they've now pulled back on that. And just today or yesterday, the president of Disney he's like groveling now, and being like, oh, I'm so sorry. And they're pulling their donations after all from these Speculum Fight in the comments points out that Pixar's LGBTQ plus employees put out a statement too that they were against this. And so, yeah, even like employees within Disney were not happy with this. And so they realized the mess that they started. And so it became a problem.
Rob, I heard the first plan A, before all this blew up, they were going to digitally insert Randy Rainbow into Moana. I don't know if that
no. Like sexually?
Oh, that's
Yes.
that was how they were going to combat
Yes.
the "Don't Say Gay" thing.
Both
just by
ways,
inserting-
Yeah, they were going to insert Randy Rainbow into the movie digitally, and his visage would be inserted digitally into Moana. No, that's terrible. Is Moana a kid anyway? You can't do that.
I don't know. She's probably older now.
I didn't actually see the movie.
Me neither, but like that came out like 20 years ago, so she must be of age by now.
No, Moana came out like a decade ago, maybe.
Yeah,
No,
the movie with The Rock.
10 years ish, less than 10
Oh,
years.
I was thinking
2016.
Okay, 20.
You're thinking of Lilo and Stitch, probably.
No, what am I? Maybe
similar
Pocahontas. Maybe I'm thinking of Pocahontas.
Oh, that's old as shit.
Yeah, I think that's what I was thinking of.
That's like late 90s Pocahontas, right?
That's so Moana. You may still be underage. I apologize.
And I now that we're talking about this, I can't stop thinking about.
And tell us what other underage cartoon characters you want to fuck.
Oh,
You sick pervert, you freak.
What?
I don't know.
What the fuck are you talking about? Sometimes, Sid, sometimes you really take it a little too far.
Too far?
Too far.
Oh.
Okay, so I wanted to play this clip of Ron DeSantis, who's the governor, and he does this like epic clapback at a reporter about this bill. So hold on, I want to play this and just like how dumb this footage is. We're starting off on a political moment here on the live cast. Now that I'm back at my home studio, let me just load this up.
I thought that was another Airbnb behind you.
No, this is home base.
I like in the comments, Polar Knights points out that the three of us are like the perfect evolution of beard growth. Between if you started Darren and then Rob.
So I'm the Neanderthal of beard growth. Is that what you're saying?
I suppose.
You almost never go without a beard on this show. This is a rare thing. I usually have the most hobo-like scraggle, I feel.
Yeah, look at us. Rob's is fully nice dark chocolate. I've got the salt and pepper, mostly salt.
And
I'm
salt pathetically clinging to my long gone youth by shaving my face and hoping it makes me look 8 years younger.
I'm getting the salt in my pepper beard, unfortunately. But anyway, here's this dumb fucking Ron DeSantis clip. Which is like, fuck you, Ron DeSantis, by the way.
Does it say that in the bill? Does it say that in the bill? I'm asking you to tell me what's in the bill because you are.
This is a wonderful Republican tactic. They're pushing a really shitty fucking bill, and then when they get asked on it, they make a big scene of the semantics.
Yeah,
to kind of come off like you're overreacting.
Yeah, it literally is a "Don't Say Gay." I mean, it's literally what it is. That's the entirety of what it is.
They could argue, like it's like, so there's not going to be any pictures of boys and girls kissing, because it's like you're not supposed to talk about sex.
Do you see
it's
how
more general?
I love right now in the freeze frame how angry the guy over his shoulder is. Like he's ready to fight. The guy in the glasses.
Ole Anderson looking
how
motherfucker.
dare you question this man of authority? Fucking fake news media.
This is the casting call for the Irish Sopranos.
The Leprechaunos.
I'm asking you to tell me what's in the bill because you are pushing.
It's almost like he hasn't even read it. Like, no, I'm asking.
Oh, he definitely hasn't read it.
What's in it? No, seriously, what's in it?
Yeah.
False narratives. It doesn't matter what critics say.
Well, it says it bans classroom instruction on sexual identity and gender orientation.
For who?
Look at his face. He's like, damn it, he did read the bill.
You got
damn
me.
it.
You got me.
It bans classroom instruction on sexual identity and gender orientation.
For who? For grades pre-K through 3. So 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds. And the idea that you wouldn't be honest about that and tell people what it actually says, it's why people don't trust people like you because you peddle false narratives. And so we disabuse.
Hey, look at it. Like, what false narrative? What false narrative?
You just reworded what the guy said.
Yeah, he's like, well, it's only until grade 3. You could say gay in grade 4. So stop pulling this false narrative where it's like,
This is like a sketch where Bradley Cooper is about 55 in a few years, and he hosts SNL, and he's a little bloated. That's what this reminds me of.
Except Bobby Moynihan behind him.
And I just want to say to the people at home who might be reasonable, and don't have problems with gay and might think, well, hey, what's the problem? Like, what's the maybe being that young, you should learn about gay people. And I want to be clear. Let me be clear. It's not about like teaching about what gay sex is. It's nothing. It's nothing sexual. Just can't even talk about like in a more Disney-fied term, like love. You can't talk about like two boys can love each other or two girls can love each other. You can't even say that. And who it really affects is there are people who are born with being gay totally visibly gay. They cannot hide the fact as a boy they're too effeminate, or as a girl they're like a tomboy, and they're gonna feel totally disenfranchised, and like they're gonna get bullied, and they can't talk about it. Teachers can't talk to them about it and like reassure them that it'll be fine. It would be illegal. So it's like, why are we punishing these fucking poor kids?
And let's be real. I mean, all these kids have the internet. They're probably explaining what docking is to their parents.
It's true.
We need to log on the other way. Don't
honestly,
kids can't say this to their parents.
Do we want teachers that live in Florida to handle this anyway? Do we trust them to do this right? Maybe it's for everyone's benefit to like keep that conversation out of the schools. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's also like, it's just also ambient. Like, it's not like the teacher's gonna interrupt class and talk about gay marriage. I feel like it's just more about when it comes up, or when a child goes to them with issues.
It's so cynical because it's like you're never going to talk about like princesses falling in love. Like you're going to talk about that stuff.
Wait, what?
Like where is the line? Like, why is it okay to talk about fairy tales where princes and princesses fall in love? Why is that okay for children to be exposed to at a young age? But if a prince falls in love with another prince,
where is that happening?
In like children's books, I'm saying, if there's children's books like this, like
if a kindergarten teacher reads a book,
like their argument, their bad faith argument is essentially like, it's too young for children to know about this sort of thing. It's like, know about what thing? Like, know about love. So like, you're not going to show them fairy tales and stuff like that about getting, you know what I'm saying? Like, why is it only weird for them to learn about same-sex relationships, but not, opposite sex relationships?
I think also one thing is that, even if we try to, like, I sometimes try to follow Rob's ideal of being open-minded about everybody, even people that seem repulsive. Like, what is this person's motivation? Like, and I know that there's people who are insulated and they believe being gay is wrong, but they're not bad people. Like, this is the only information that's ever been funneled into their brain. And maybe they do actually care about people, and I'm willing to accept that. But even if that was true, this is it's a dumb way to enforce that. Even if you did think it was true, you're just gonna like you can't say this in school. Do you think that's ever going to work?
I feel like what the thought process is for the people who actually, in good faith, believe in this bill and not are just using it to get votes, is that they honestly believe that being gay is a choice and is not a way you're born. And so why let the kids know that they have that choice? If you don't want the kid to choose to be gay, then let's just not even present that as a possibility, and maybe they won't choose it. And they think that's going to solve the issue of being gay.
Exactly. And so you're totally right. That's all it is. And
are schools the number one place that children learn about being gay? I mean, I don't really know.
It's the church.
It's the bathhouses.
Well, that's probably the best advertisement for them not to be gay, because it's like
I'm saying, but that's where they learn, like, oh, boys can touch other boys. Yes, when they're a priest.
But but they get the false impression that being gay is all about an old withered man raping you. So,
right. And what's so weird?
We need more hot priests. Right? Is that?
And it's interesting because I feel like the younger generation gays, like Gen Z gays. They're so much more well-adjusted than millennial gays. Like, I came out of the closet when I was an adult, and it was like a really tough thing for me. But I feel like with the following generation, because when I was growing up, when I was in my childhood years, it was still something that was kind of frowned upon and embarrassing. But I feel like in my teen years and in my 20s, in media, being gay was kind of like
destigmatized.
Cool. Yeah, and like almost cool.
Everybody wanted to be Sean Hayes.
Wow, bad choice.
But that's that. I'm saying that's when I was growing up. Like that was like the beginning of it. But like like 5 to 7 years after that, there was plenty more representation, and especially nowadays. And I feel like it's noticeably helped to the following generation, where it's not like they're not ashamed, they're not dealing with the fact that they're gay as difficult. And I'm being very general here, because obviously I'm sure in more conservative areas it was still probably difficult, but in the way that society treated it, it was much easier to be gay. And I feel like perhaps for Republicans now, that's like they can't handle that. So they're really trying anything they can, like this dumb shit, to try to curb that, because I don't know, like why, like, you know what I mean?
I think
they still don't accept it.
It's also the other way now. It's like, I think it's socially, it's like it costs you social capital to be anti-gay. I think it's more stigmatized to be a bigot now.
Right. Yes, which was the complete opposite. I
Right.
feel, 15, 20 years ago. Things have really turned around.
But also, we live in New York, like you said.
Yeah.
So this is
that was the wild thing about being in like Florida, in Orlando, and in Tampa too. Is like, oh, this side of America exists, and just
Tampa's really
not
bad.
Tampa. I'm sorry, Daytona Beach.
Oh, but Tampa is really. I mean, St. Petersburg
Daytona Beach was
more than
fucking
Tampa,
brutal.
but yeah.
All right, but let's move on from these bigots to
Another
Dave Mustaine.
Oh,
Well,
ex-bigot. Bigot who knows how
before-
to keep his mouth shut a little better.
yeah,
lately.
finally learned.
So we love Dave Mustaine here on the on RIP Livecast. Before we go, Dusty Rhodes Muffler says, when did you know you were gay, Rob?
Tuesday.
I mean, I've known I was. When did I accept I was gay is different from when I knew it. When I knew I was gay, I was like a kid. I've talked about it.
But only because your teacher brought it up.
When did you stop fighting it?
When I stopped fighting it was when I lived with Sid, actually, when I was on my own, and it was like, oh, this is something I want to explore.
You just found me irresistible. You couldn't stop thinking about it.
Look how quickly you said no.
No, not with that back hair.
God damn, it's just something to grip while you're pounding me.
What what it was? It was chat roulette that really did it. Because,
did you go on like looking at girls and like trying to force yourself to look at girls, and then you realized, oh well, let's just check the guys out, and see.
No, I did not try to force myself to look at girls. I just immediately went for. By that point, I was like watching gay porn regularly. It's just I was like, oh, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to seek this out in real IRL. But then I had I guess you would call a camming experience, a cyber sex experience with another guy from Australia.
Or so he said.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, he had an accent.
You talked?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was like,
was I home when this happened?
No, this was maybe you might have been. This was actually like really late at night, so you might have been home.
Sid was the Australian guy. He just used like face tune.
And then I was just like, oh, I want to I guess I should like this. It felt like something I should continue exploring. Like I really was like, if I have this desire, it's not going to be suppressed. So
Sid had a didgeridoo and a picture of a koala behind him. He's like, I'm from Australia, mate.
In a
Let's
boomerang
jack
dick.
off. You know, I think what we've learned from that whole story is that Ron DeSantis should be less focused on schools and more focused on banning people from living with Sid. that will stop homosexuality in this country.
I'm definitely banned from Florida, so I don't think he has to worry.
All right. So Megadeth is on the verge of a tour, and they're going to be putting out an album later this year. So Dave Mustaine is in promo mode. And he was interviewed by my friend Graham at Loudwire. And the whole interview is actually pretty fun. Hopefully,
he's very beautiful.
That's what he said about Graham.
Oh, well, definitely go check out the whole interview. I want to play a few clips from it.
Sure.
Hopefully, Loudwire won't pull this video because we do it, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So here, Graham asks Dave about one of the songs on the album, Dogs of Chernobyl. And by the way, this is a Zoom interview, so we get to see Dave's face. It's very nice. Get to see Dave's office.
Oh my god.
And I have to say, like, I don't mean this as a burn, but I feel like Dave is slowly morphing into like Ozzy Osbourne. See if you see what I'm talking about.
He looks like the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh, come on.
I was wondering, with that song in mind, the album title, is that a reference to like nuclear apocalypse?
So you saw the song title is Dogs of Chernobyl, by the way.
What's the album? Is the album title too?
I'm not sure if the album title.
Same type of stuff.
Yeah, well, it's a metaphor, of course.
It's a metaphor, of course.
You know what that is, right?
It's talking about in Chernobyl when everybody evacuated. And there was a show on the TV that came out somewhere around the beginning of the songwriting process on this record. And I remember seeing something.
Can you
on
pause
Chernobyl,
it? Sorry.
And I was.
Did he just literally start this answer by saying, well, of course it's a metaphor, but really it's about the exact literal thing that I was talking about when the people evacuated?
Well, no, he's gonna explain how it's a metaphor. First he's explaining the occurrence, and then he will explain the metaphor.
A metaphor is when you say the exact thing you mean directly.
Oh my god. El Duderito says he looks like a haggard Christina Hendricks. Oh my god.
It's true.
Nightmare fuel.
So I thought that the writing on it was just fabulous, and all I kept remembering was, and imagining in my head what it would feel like, if here you are, you're at your home, and then one siren later, it's time to leave forever. You can never go back. What about the people that are nutty who didn't evacuate? I had a guy I was playing music with, Graham. He was the drummer in a band I was in. And it wasn't Lars. And it wasn't anybody after Lars either. It was prior to that. So I remember one time his house was for sale. And he came from really rich parents. And they had to put a tent over the house. Do you know what that is?
Oh, for bugs and stuff?
A tent?
Yeah.
Yes, I know what a tent
So
is.
this guy, who was absolutely normal by all intents and appearances, right? He and I go out drinking this night, and then he says it's time to go home. And what does he do? He goes to his old pad, and he crawls underneath the tent inside of his house, and he goes and sleeps in there. And gets up in the morning and carries on life like nothing happened.
And now you're just like, what is he why is he telling this story? Here, I'll explain it.
There are people like that when they say get out of Chernobyl, they won't leave.
See, that's the metaphor.
So here's what the song really is about. It says,
whoa, Dave really showed off the hairline here.
He's davening.
Yeah, something. He's having a stroke or he's davening.
Wherever I look, I see your face. It's haunting me. And you left me behind. You just left. like a dog in Chernobyl, because that was one of the things that was the most touching about the interview, was having the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, if you're a dog
Wait,
owner,
what
you
interview?
can
What the
see
fuck is he talking
expressions on
about?
the dog's
I'm lost.
The touching about the interview and having the dogs. First, he's talking about the HBO show Chernobyl, I
saying-
think.
Or I think he might have seen the documentary about Chernobyl and he saw an interview. I don't know. And then he's talking about that you see the look on the dog's face.
faces. If you're
I don't know if
I
you've
feel
seen
like right now I'm seeing the look of a dog's face. It's-
in Chernobyl. It's just
Yeah,
after
the
radiation poisoning. I don't know if you've seen Chernobyl. It's a fascinating fictional show about what might happen if a reactor
owner,
exploded.
you can see expressions on the dog's faces. If you're a pet owner, you can see expressions on most animals' faces.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing the dogs, you know, they weren't saying "I'm fucked," if you know what I mean, but if they
'Cause
could,
dogs
that's
can't
kind of
talk.
what it seemed like to me.
Except for that Goofy in the
despair
bathhouse.
that they were putting out, you know, and I thought, you know, that is exactly the feeling I want to try and convey in this song. You know, they're breaking up, and she's leaving him behind like one of the fucking dogs in Chernobyl.
There you go. Boom.
And it turned out that is one of the heaviest songs on the record.
That's all.
And then Graham asked.
Could I just say preemptively, RIP this week stands for radiation in puppies.
Also, I thought it was pretty funny to hear Dave Mustaine talk about dogs, because we know about his history with dogs in Metallica. Because, you know, James kicked his dog.
Yeah.
Deuterino chat in the chat asks, is Nick Menza going to write songs about the dogs of Fukushima? Nick Menza's dead, you insensitive fuck.
Yeah, he's forced to write shitty
not gonna
Megadeth
write
songs the rest
anything.
of his eternity in hell.
Dusty Rose Butler writes, he's capitalizing on what's going on between Russia and Ukraine. I don't think so, because this album and song were probably written like a year or two ago. Before
Come
these
on,
really-
how hard is it to stick Chernobyl into some dumb song that he wrote, though?
No, I'm saying
It used to be the dogs of Vladivostok. But he had quickly changed it up.
All right. So in this clip, Graham of Loudwire asks him, hey, you know, this is a pretty long gap between Megadeth albums. Not usual. You guys are pretty much on a 2 or 3 year album cycle. Has the longer gap allowed you to work on the songs more? And here's what Dave says.
Well, I think you're being very kind with ignoring the fact that I was really out of
My mind.
I was out of order, for lack of a better term, going through the cancer stuff. So, you know, I tried to heal as quick as possible. I've been cancer free for 2.5 years now. And, you know, when it happened, I didn't, part of me was like, no, I don't have fucking cancer. You're kidding. You know, but I certainly.
Dave's anti-vaxness coming out here a little bit. No, I don't know that.
And you know, I worked really hard to get rid of
He's a
it.
chemo
I
denier.
did as much as I could possibly physically training. You know, I wasn't down with going and lifting weights and everything like that, but as much as I could do anything else that was exercise that appealed to me, I was trying. You know, and I feel right now healthier than I've felt since I was diagnosed. I believe that I've got a lot of grace in this area, and that I believe I'm going to get better. I think my singing has improved, and I think that's going to get way better too, because I want it now. Before, you know,
Oh,
I
he didn't
felt
want
like
it
I
before.
deserved it. Now, whether I deserve it or not, I fucking want it. I want to play. I want to go out and just shred on my guitar, and people go, I can't believe that he is
All
alive.
right, and then here's like just him rambling, which I really enjoyed.
Machines
Wait,
feel,
wasn't
you know,
that
to
all
a
that we've
degree
heard so
that,
far?
you
I guess so, but
Rob,
here's an.
I want to
Yeah.
ask a question before you play this again. Did either of you see the television show Dark?
Yes.
No.
The series. Oh,
Mhm.
well, I want to point out that show was easier to follow than this interview. Jesus fuck. What is he talking about? Oh, I mean, I know cancer was involved. That's about all I know.
Both
I don't-
things focused on a nuclear power plant also.
Yeah,
Is
right.
he just a time traveler from nuclear Germany?
Uh-oh.
The twist is that Graham is Dave Mustaine, like the young version, talking to himself.
He's one of 5 Dave
You know,
Mustaines.
there's things that
There's a lot to manage in life, right?
Leave this on. This is more interesting.
Hold on, let me get through this ad. We don't need to give these free ads to these corporations. They could buy them. But I want to mention, Dave Mustaine, if you're listening, give us a call, 213-WIDE-NOT, 213-943-3688. Here's Dave rambling on about other artists.
they worked really hard for, and it would be nice to get a thank you or to get a attaboy and stuff like that. I've never been that dude. You know, I was never striving for the approval of other people.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
At some point, it mattered to me, but it wasn't something that I felt incomplete without. Now, there were people around me that I was witnessing getting others kiss their ass for things that they had done or contributed to that they really had nothing to do with, or they were getting awards and stuff like that for playing parts that they never wrote, or so on and so forth, stuff like that. And that's always kind of a bummer, like when you remember the whole Paula Abdul thing.
Like, what?
Other people coming in there and singing her parts and her trying to allegedly singing her parts.
Don't we all just constantly think back to the big Paula Abdul controversy?
How did he bring that up and not Milli Vanilli, which is like the more well-known?
Oh,
does he? Oh no! Oh no!
That she was trying to say that was really her voice, just like when Milli Vanilli did that too. Right. Baby. Remember those fucking guys?
What a silly guy.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, that was fun. I love it.
You're gonna get a.
And then let's see. There's one more thing. Graham asks him about what makes a good tour, and this allows Dave to go on a very awkward rant about concert promoters. So let's cue that.
A little similar. Like you see the promoters now, you go and you see there's 4 or 5 bands. They're all the same. Right, and they're all baby bands, so nobody draws fucking anyone. And the tickets that they would sell, the other 7 bands on the bill would sell those same exact tickets. So it's like, what kind of a fucking ticket promoter are you? You're not a concert promoter. You're a salesman. You don't know how to put together a really good tour. So that's important too. Knowing how the band's kind of like that cross indication when you take NyQuil and heroin. I'm just kidding.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Also, like, what is it? Like, I love this little sway that he does here. Let's go back.
You're not a concert promoter. You're a salesman.
Hey guys, I like drugs.
That's important too. Knowing how the band.
This here we go. Look at this little dance he's doing.
When you take NyQuil and heroin.
Is there no heat in his home? He's wearing like a fucking bubble jacket indoors. What is
8-ball jacket from 1991?
Doesn't he live
And he
in the
lives
South?
in California, or no?
Oh,
I
yeah.
guess he lives in Tennessee. He might live in Tennessee.
Either one. It shouldn't be that cold, Dave.
When you,
It's not even that cold here.
You have to.
Yeah.
He's a frail man.
Yeah, apparently.
It's going to happen. We did a concert one time in Europe, and it was us, Oasis, REM, Faith
Stop
No
name
More,
dropping, you
Sheryl
fuck.
Crow, and Bo Diddley.
Wow.
And talk about a diverse show. It was fantastic, but it was a little bit too diverse.
Oh.
But I liked that better than the cookie cutter approach to most promoters where they just get bands that are the same. It's like, you have the imagination of a fart.
Too many Bo Diddley fans, if you know what I mean.
You have the imagination of a fart.
He's about to start talking about African women's vaginas again.
Seriously, Jesus
You
Christ.
never said that, Darren. He was misquoted.
You have the imagination of a fart. And come on, you're supposed to be a concert promoter. What up?
What up?
I believe when the bands have.
Oh, you don't like Bo Diddley fans, but you'll appropriate their AAVE, huh? Dave.
So definitely check out that interview. He
Wow.
actually talks about the album as well. But good to check in with Dave.
And that was all via Cameo, right? He did that whole thing.
Should we
Very
check in with this
expensive.
cameo?
Oh, God, I guess
How much
so.
did Graham pay for that?
No, it was a promo for the album. Loudwire.
Even still, you got to pay Dave. He doesn't do this shit for free. Even album promo, somebody's got to pay him.
That's not what I said.
All right, let me get this going. It's been a while since we've checked in with Dave's cameo.
Yeah.
It's very much
We're not officially a metal injection property anymore. We don't, Dave doesn't come up as much.
So it looks like he recorded his intro. Let's hear that.
He's a fake background of
Oh,
Times
shit.
Square.
Meet the real me. Hey, I'm Dave Mustaine, and this is Cameo. I'd like to invite you to send a greeting from me to your friends, such as a birthday greeting, a wedding, Christmas, divorced as fuck, something like that. You know what you want to say. Just get creative. Anyways, thanks for reaching out to me. Welcome to Cameo, and have a great 2022.
Am I
That's like
imagining
really good money.
things,
Meet the
or
real
or
me.
is he
Hey,
did he age a lot since we checked in on these? He looks worse. He looks like his face is puffy.
Yeah. He definitely looked worse in that interview.
Hello, me. Meet the real me.
Again?
Hey, Peter. It's Dave Mustaine,
It's his
bro.
new thing.
How are you?
Bro.
I hear it's your birthday soon, and you're going to be 30. That's pretty freaking cool. I remember when I turned 30, my wife had a surprise birthday
I
party.
want to point out he's wearing another puffy jacket here, but it's Adidas, a brand I
Seriously,
respect.
Now he's ripping off Run DMC.
And she tricked me. Everybody was in the backyard, and I'd gotten home from kickboxing class, and she goes, "Oh, Dave, Zeus is in the back." Zeus is my dog. Zeus is in the backyard, and he cut his paw on a sprinkler. And I went, "My dog," because we didn't have kids yet, and Zeus was
Dave
my
loves
baby.
his pets.
So I ran into the backyard, and everybody goes, "Surprise!" And I thought, "Get out of the way, where's my dog?" And then I went, "Oh my God, surprise party for me." And it was so funny because they had a piñata for me to try and smack.
Oh my God, was it
baseball
Lars?
bat. And my instructor from kickboxing had followed behind me and arrived.
Rob,
believe
can you
it or
fast
not,
forward 12 minutes into
without
this
me
interview?
knowing
This
he was
cameo,
there.
please.
And while I was swinging at the piñata, he kept going, 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock. He's got a very interesting accent. And I was hearing him, but I had no idea what he was.
I can't believe he's
saying,
still
6
talking. All right,
o'clock.
let's move on.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Oh man, brother. A lot of birthdays here. I guess this is a good birthday gift to a Megadeth fan. Like, that's nice.
It's nice in theory, but then he just talks about shit from 47 years ago that no one cares about.
Hello, me.
Oh
Meet
my
the
God.
real
He just
me.
does it.
Hey, Janelle, it's Dave Mustaine from Megadeth reaching out to tell you happy. He told me after, and I felt like such a donkey.
What's going on there?
Are there two pieces of audio? Let me reload.
Somebody was a donkey. I was very confused.
All right, let's
Does he do it again?
what's going on?
Hello, me. Meet the real me. Hey, Janelle, it's Dave Mustaine from Megadeth reaching out to tell you happy 50th birthday, April 13th. Wow. the 13th. You know, 13 is a number that shows up in my life all the time. I was born on the 13th too. Did you know that? The 13th of September. And,
we're both Virgos, Dave and
started
I.
playing guitar when I was 13. We have an album called 13. Yeah, all kinds of great
You're
stuff.
107 years old. Every number has come up at some point.
Tous mes amis, je vous aime, je dois partir.
He just thinks he's Maurice Chevalier.
He's speaking in tongues.
Oh, he's in bed.
Oh no!
What the fuck? Doesn't even look. It looks like Lee
Hello,
Schreiber.
Meet the real
Yeah.
me.
Oh.
Hello, Schuyler. It's Dave Mustaine from Megadeth, and I am playing doctor here at my house. I'm sick, and I'm just here laying next to her in bed with the puppies. There's a Romeo back there.
Oh.
You just saw a mink walk across me.
Wait,
She
who's
doesn't
sick
care
that he's
about
laying in
anybody.
bed with? His
She's kind
wife?
of
His wife.
Rulers of the
So
roost
wait,
here.
his
Hey,
wife
man,
is
so
stuck
happy
in bed
30th
sick,
birthday. I'm so stoked for you.
and his way of like nursing her to health and keeping her company is by just laying next to her and loudly recording cameos.
Yeah, hey, why don't you
What
watch
the
these?
fuck?
Why do we, baby? Look, it's money for the family. This is good
I
money.
guess.
$300 a pop.
Make her
minus
some
20,
fucking
20,
soup.
He's probably making $200 a pop here. If you take away cameos fee, the management fee, probably 150.
You think that wardrobe pays for itself?
For you, I'm glad you adore me. I love you too, and I'm glad you like Megadeth. That's cool stuff. I wish I knew where you're from. Your name sounds like it's Mediterranean, and
boy.
especially Rizos. That's a cool name too. So
I love when old people play
are you
guess the
guys,
nationality.
I'm gonna pull out my head calipers and see what race you are.
That's the name of the new album, Phrenology.
Yeah, Chernobyl phrenology. I'm gonna need your 23andMe profile before I record
Hi,
this
Summer.
cameo.
It's Dave
That number comes up a lot too.
Yeah, it's a big number in my life.
Mustaine. I wanted to say
14 words is
congratulations.
another one that comes up.
Oh no!
1488, just a coincidence. I don't know why.
No, no.
Congratulations to you and to Dan, or your special D, and just tell you how happy I am for you. And now that you've found that special someone and you've made a commitment.
All right, that's enough.
Wait, she's the same race as you, right? Before I record this thing.
Oh.
What was that? I can't. You sound Romanian. He's doing accents of his jujitsu accent guy.
There's a lot going on.
For fuck's sake! This is the reformed Dave Mustaine, by the way. This is the like toned down. Can you imagine, Rob? Can you imagine if he was doing if Cameo existed in like 2012?
Oh my god!
Boy.
Everything would be just pure racism and Alex Jones shit.
Just anti-Obama, like, but in the most racist way.
Oh,
yeah, that was a wild time. That was a wild time as well because he was saying all this dumb shit, and it got to a point where it was like, all right, are we making fun of this? Like writing about it, or are we just kind of giving him a platform at this point to say this stupid shit? And it became like a bit of an ethics question. And
I don't know where you land on that, but I say that platforming people to ridicule them is always good. I don't ever have a problem with that. I mean, I may get to a point where you think, well, no, if it's blotting out like coverage of things you think are more important, that's a different issue.
Well, we know Rob didn't think anything on Metal Injection was more important than this type of a story.
Well, but it's not like it blocked anything out. We still covered the music and whatever. You know, like there's no finite amount of coverage on a website.
I think the only way to make this stuff go away is to air it and then show how stupid it is. And
well, my counter to you is that there are people who are on the fence who would read that, and just because you're making fun of it doesn't mean they accept the mocking that you're doing, and it could then backfire where they're like, hey, you're being really unreasonable here, and then like you're still ultimately airing out their grievances or whatever, and people are reading what they're saying, even if you're mocking it. You know, they're going to see you're mocking, and it's ultimately up to them. I guess I'm being kind of a Rick Scott kind of guy.
I was just
where I'm like, don't say conservative.
Right. It's not because those people are not going to be converted just because you played it.
My argument, my argument is essentially don't mention it.
Oh, you mean Ron DeSantis?
Yeah. Hashtag don't say
Scott,
Dave.
Yeah. They're all the same to me.
Hashtag don't say
Ron
Dave.
DeSantis.
Yeah.
That's the episode title. Don't say Dave.
They're not. Those people are finding it because they already think that, and that
Right. But then I don't know. I certainly see your point, and I see the flaw in my argument, but after a while, I was just like, all right, we've covered this already.
I think it's a fair argument, and it's a fair thing to think about, and it's good to be open-minded and debate that in your mind. But that where I would land down is like, I don't think we got rid of people, people, even the most right-wing media establishment figures will not say the N-word now, like the real word.
Yeah.
Because it's been shamed, not because they're such nice people that they love black people. It's because the social capital for that is too costly for them to say it. And that was but just by mocking them. It's by All in the Family. It's by all this media making fun of bigots. Like, I feel like you have to, not necessarily metal injection doesn't have to make the choice to do it. You know what I mean? But it's someone doing that to me is never bad. I mean, you have to do it, but I mean, I never think it's a unethical choice to do it, is what I'm trying to say.
That's fair. Well, turning to world news, it's been very tough to watch some of the stuff coming out of Ukraine, and just following the news and just kind of seeing a lot of odd coverage and odd people getting screen time,
like Mustaine on Cameo.
Yeah.
But I do want to share this clip, which is easily the best thing. A little moment of reprieve from the gloom of Ukraine. This was on a UK news broadcast. Here we go.
Because where all that noise is coming from, where all that military sound that you're hearing, there are civilians there at the end of that. Terrified civilians.
That is terrifying.
Look, these are some of them.
And also, I love that she calls it military sounds. It's bombs and explosions. That's military sounds.
Yes.
Like the way the mainstream media is sanitizing war is pretty weird.
And at the same time, they're trying to say how scary it is too.
Yeah.
The whole point of this is like,
I think this lady might just not be great at her job.
Possible. Military sounds.
Yeah, I've never heard it described that.
A small gaggle of journalists.
A small gaggle of journalists.
She couldn't even think of the word journalists. I think this woman might just be having a stroke. What are we again, guys? Remind me. What are we doing here?
Talking to Mike News into television camera. Remember that woman that had a stroke on the
Yes.
air? Yeah. What was her name again?
I don't remember the name. It was like a California news thing, right? I don't
know where.
I remember what the context was. Maybe some award show or something.
That was scary. No, I think she was doing some kind of news.
Who are trying to get into the city to talk to some of the civilians, and these are the coaches that they're being.
Look, it's one of the dogs of Chernobyl.
Let's just take a quick look inside before, just to get a quick. Does anyone speak English here? Yeah. Hi. What was it like in there? Where you've just come from Irpin or somewhere else?
We were on a circle, like when you're.
It's okay. Don't worry.
I want to point out that, okay, imagine you are fleeing for your life.
Like,
there are bombs not 10 minutes away from you. You're on high stress alert. All of a sudden, this rich foreign bitch and her fucking camera crew come on your escape bus to start asking you questions, taking up room
and time,
where other refugees can get out. They're like, "Get the fuck off! Get out of here!" You
yeah, why are you talking to her? Let's just go.
No, don't worry. I'm a person with microphone that says news into television camera. What is that
Okay,
called again?
They're very stressed. Tell me quickly, are you all right?
I'm all
I
right.
like they're very stressed. They're very stressed. But I'm not gonna stop. I still need to do my job.
Yeah. Well, she's also stressed, man. She's got deadlines.
Don't worry. Okay, they're very stressed. Tell me quickly, are you all
The
right?
best part.
I'm all right.
And how many people are trapped in there?
Legalized. 420.
Yeah. British. How many more?
Cannabis legalized in
Pardon?
Is cannabis legalized in
I don't know whether cannabis is licensed.
How does
I'm
she
glad
not know
that's what
that?
you're
She lives
thinking
there.
about. How many civilians are
Nice
still there,
journalist.
do you think?
I think not many those who can't defend themselves.
Right, but there are still substantial civilians there.
Showing me like it's so
Look, you
gross
can
to
see
show
they're
these
in a
people
traumatized
and, like,
state. Very of
exploit
them,
them
very.
visually, like they
The
didn't agree to
Ukrainians
have
are
their
strong people. He's asking. Are
picture
you all right,
taken.
sir?
But she's like
they're
exploiting.
you all
She's
right?
like
Very
reverse
racist and looking
exploiting
very-
them, like exploiting how noble they are. But still, they
Yeah.
didn't ask for that either. But I think it's just funny that she's there with this fucking like SWAT gear and whatever the fuck the helmet, and the guy's just like he just has a hoodie on, you know. He's like, whatever, not scared at all.
420.
But this guy just reminds me of like these like junior high kids in our neighborhood growing up. Yo, blaze the draw, bro. 420. Blaze it.
He thought he probably found like a kindred spirit. Like none of these Ukrainian bitches I live with want to talk about weed with me, but this lady knows what's up. And then she wasn't into it either. This poor fucking guy.
He's like a teenage Yakov Smirnoff. He's like, I was like, oh, I'm going to talk about the weed with the Western now. And then she doesn't, She doesn't talk about it. He's like so disappointed. I
And,
like
those
it.
are probably. Go ahead.
Blue jeans and the Kim Kardashian.
Those are probably like the only English words he knows.
Yeah.
Like he's only prepared to have a weed conversation. So he's like, finally, I get to test this shit out. And the person wasn't receptive. Rob, you needed to be on the front lines there, so you could have talked to him.
I would have brought him a joint. Like, here, chill out, man. An indica, because a sativa, you're already so high anxiety. The sativa would just elevate that. So I'd want a nice body high for them to just chill and be like, oh, we're gonna be.
But then
all
they'd
right,
be slower in escaping, and they'd be more susceptible to getting blown up.
He fully learned English from Half Baked, the movie. That's all he knows.
Tell me, you ever suck dick for weed? This in UK? You suck dick for cannabis?
You ever touch munitions on weed?
Oh man, sad that guy ended up dying.
Oh, Jon Stewart? Oh, the other guy in the school bus?
And Bob Saget.
Oh, okay.
so many casualties in this story somehow. It's tragic.
Shame.
And then there's this video also from over there. I guess this is a Ukrainian woman.
Is it Ukrainian or Russian? I couldn't really tell what because it seems like she's speaking Russian, not Ukrainian.
I mean,
Yeah,
a lot
well,
of them
I
just
feel like
speak
Ukrainians, Ukrainians know how to speak Russian, and so they're
That's true.
probably doing it to like for a wider audience.
But also, isn't that like, do they really? Is it that different? Ukrainian and
Yes.
Russian? It's very different.
It's like Portuguese and Spanish.
Oh yeah, you did mention that to me once.
Ну что, николаевские наши власти. Теперь здравствуйте вам. Ким, Синкевич. Что ж вы, суки конченые, оставили нас без света уже вторые сутки. Вы ж нас кинули. Ваши ж пидорасы вот эти вот, ваши пидоры. Вы знаете, я не буду говорить, где мы находимся.
I know
И ты,
Peter.
Ким, знаешь.
I know Peter is a bad word.
Well, in English there's the word pederast. And in Russian it's the same. It's the same, but it's basically slang for
Child fucker.
Well, no, it doesn't mean that. It actually just means the F word, like not fuck, but
Знаешь, где мы находимся, без света сидим.
But there's a
Ваши
translation of it in
пидоры
the thread.
нас обстреляли, наши украинцы, погробили наши дома,
Yeah, she's saying you shot our Ukrainian. So she's identifying as a Ukrainian.
But she's saying that Ukrainian troops are the ones doing it. If you look at the
I see.
tweet, it says Ukrainian troops shelling their own cities.
Right.
Oh, she's a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
I mean,
my
she's
goodness.
there. I don't know if this could be bullshit, but
I mean, yeah, is she there?
yeah.
How do we know she's there?
Yeah.
Is
I
she
don't know.
like what evidence is she showing?
I'm not 100% sure that's not my mom, and my mom's in Brooklyn right now. So
Испортили нам нету света. Вторые сутки они перебили.
there's
Не
no light.
Россия.
I
Наши
love that
падлы,
she's saying
гандоны.
how there isn't any light in an extremely well lit room.
Well, it's daytime, maybe.
Is it?
She should have
Well, I
waited
guess we
6
see no
hours to do
windows.
this and like
Yeah.
lit a candle or something.
So she's saying Ukrainian troops are fucking with Ukrainian citizens. They cut their light and all this stuff. And
Гандоны. А вы пидоры, блядь. Мы не люди здесь.
Oh, no.
Уберите нахуй войска от наших домов, чтоб мы вас гандоном не видели. Иначе, если нам, блядь, не включат свет
Gotta help
сегодня,
us out.
мы
The
вас будем
non-Russian speakers.
пиздить, как
I'm not sure I could translate some of this stuff because it's so vulgar.
нету света. Вторые
Hold on,
сутки
hold on.
они
Have we
перебили.
finally
Не
found something
Россия.
too vulgar for the live cast?
Наши падлы, гандоны.
Our assholes. And the gondon is like a condom, but like it's kind of said as a pejorative. Our assholes, these condoms.
I was like,
А вы пидоры,
the
блядь.
translation in the tweet below, I think it says they're fucking us without a condom or something.
No. And then she calls them the F word again, not fuck.
Мы не люди
Gay
здесь.
slurry.
Уберите нахуй войска от наших.
She's like, "You're not our people. Get the fuck out of here." Nahui one is like, "Go sit on my." Like the little transition is like,
fuck
"Go
off."
sit on my dick," but it's like, "Fuck off." Yeah.
Наших домов, чтоб мы вас гандоном не видели.
So we won't see you fucking condoms, basically.
I've never heard condoms used like that.
I've totally heard like "gandon, blad." You know,
I've never heard that before.
Oh, absolutely, I've heard it as a pejorative.
Иначе, если нам, блядь, не включат свет сегодня, мы вас
And if you motherfuckers don't turn on the lights for us,
будем пиздить, как пиздили в ТикТоке россиян, блядь.
we're gonna start robbing like they robbed. I don't know where. Where did she say? Like in somewhere else.
Наших солдат будем пиздить. Уберите их нахуй от наших жилых домов.
She's saying we're gonna start robbing our soldiers. Get them the hell out of our houses.
Мы вы люди, блядь.
We're
Хули вы
humans.
нами защищаетесь?
She got flustered. She's like, "All right, that's
So
enough."
angry. Oh my god. It really is just flashbacks to my mom yelling at me for not doing my homework. It really
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
so
Especially when she
traumatic.
got off on her rant on calling them gondons.
Where's the
I was
condoms in
like,
there?
I got triggered.
Oh, it's used condoms.
fuck.
She specified.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, it's like but I mean a gondon. There's no like differentiation between a fresh and a used gondon in the way she said it. But I guess in the slang way, like to be an insult, it's like a fresh condom is not insulting. But if you're calling someone a used condom,
What a fun society, though, where just the concept of a condom is insulting. Ladies like to raw dog it in Ukraine. Let's go.
In Russia, we like to raw dog it, but in the West, we have condoms. I'm so jealous.
The raw dogs of Chernobyl.
I do want to say, as someone who speaks both English and Russian, in terms of intelligent, like clever, over the top ways to insult people, the Russian language is far superior to English. Like there are some incredible, like brutal shade you can throw with like 2 words. It's pretty wonderful.
Oh, delightful.
Um,
Weed guy should have hooked that lady up, calm her down a little bit.
And
I just gotta say, that woman would be a lot less angry if only I had breastfed her. If I was her mother, she would not be on such a rant.
Got that vintage seltzer coming out of your nips.
If only I had Dinklage nips. I could produce more vintage seltzer. That's a call back to our Patreon episode that is coming out
which
soon.
is happening in the future. So it's a call forward.
Oh,
right.
If you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're putting out on the 15th. Let's talk about our Patreon for a moment. On the 15th, we're putting out a new episode. We watched this movie, Tiptoes, starring Gary Oldman playing a dwarf.
For some
and also Peter Dinklage is in the movie.
Great cast.
Matthew McConaughey, Kate Beckinsale. It's really an all-star cast. With
Patricia Arquette.
Patricia Arquette, that's right. With the worst plot ever. It's
hardly any plot.
Is that 3 Oscar winners in this fucking movie?
Gary Oldman, Patricia Arquette.
Did McConaughey win for Dallas Buyers Club or no?
Oh yeah, he did win. Yeah.
Or did only Leto win?
No. McConaughey definitely won
So that's 3 Oscar winners. Jesus fucking Christ.
And Dinklage got shafted. I don't know. When he played that giant.
Maybe he'll win for Cyrano. Is he nominated? Maybe not. I don't know.
They give him would they give him a little award?
Oh, come on.
Come on. After all the jokes we made during that movie?
That's okay. That's not in public. You got to pay for that. Okay. So that's coming out
It's
this
because of
Tuesday.
supply chain issues. They couldn't afford all the gold for the full-size Oscar.
So it's not his height, Rob. So you just
Yeah.
jump to conclusions.
It's
There's the
Putin's
Canadian truckers. They deliver all the gold for the awards. They tied it up. You're a heightist, Rob.
Well, he would be. He's fucking 8 feet tall.
It's true.
Piece of shit.
You can't even see down there. He didn't know who Peter Dinklage was because you can't see him.
It's true. Yeah, so we got that. Already posted this month is a bonus episode about the decline of Western civilization. We got so many great episodes in the can from the past. We do watch-alongs, we do roundtables where we all watch a movie beforehand and then we talk about it. Like we've done a roundtable about the Matrix quadrilogy. We've done one about Uncut Gems, which was one of my favorite ones that we've done. What other roundtables have we done? Oh, we did one about like the Black Mamba. Oh my God, brutal. The Space Jam movie. And then, we've also done a watch along of Until the Light Takes Us, where people are way too complimentary of Varg.
Yeah.
And we did a roundtable about Lords of Chaos.
Bubba Hotep.
Bubba Hotep, that's right. And not too long ago, we actually did a watch along of one of our favorite movies to talk about, Out for Justice. Sid has a story about it in a moment, but you can watch all of these. You have access to all of our bonus episodes. We put out 2 a month at patreon.com/RIPAlivecast. And we hope you can join us there. We appreciate the support. Oh, and we also, we've done the Pantera doc, but I don't think we did that on the Patreon. I believe those are free. And
No,
there
wasn't
are
that our very first Patreon.
Oh, that was
episode,
okay.
Maybe.
Well, you can catch them all, and there's also some watch-alongs in our archives, which you can get on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Get a little taste of it. I believe we posted some of the Patreon episodes for free, even like the Matrix Roundtable is free, and I believe our Mike Francesa deep dive. You got to check that out on the Patreon. That's free too. Yeah, there is some free content as well. If you go to patreon.com/RIPLivecast, we do have some unlocked videos that you can check out.
You can see what you're in store for if you pay.
I think it was maybe Dusty Rhodes Muffler in the Discord this week shared a funny Mike Francesa clip that I'd never heard before that maybe we could play.
Yeah, definitely look that up. But tell us your Out for Justice story.
Very briefly. So I took my mom to a doctor visit this week. And
My
mom. And I'm sitting in the waiting room, and it's me and this one like older dude just sitting waiting. And he pulls out his phone, and I hear like he just starts watching a movie on his phone, which is already obnoxious. Like, get headphones. Like, no headphones, just straight up playing a movie. And it turns out he's all of a sudden I just hear, "Anybody seen Richie?" It's like, wait, what? And so this motherfucker's like in the middle of Out for Justice.
And just
watching it just in a doctor's waiting room. Yeah,
well, actually, I shouldn't say that because that's like every 2 minutes in that movie.
What are the fucking odds? It was I did like a triple take.
Well, you're like Dave Mustaine with the number 13. popping up. Out for Justice.
Everywhere I go. This is like mere blocks for where the movie was filmed. A stunning development.
He probably thinks it's a documentary.
Maybe he was an extra and he was an old guy, so it's possible. But it was just like, of all the things that this old man could have been watching on his fucking phone, Out for Justice in the year 2022. How is that even on a phone to be watched?
He was Richie. You found him.
It's so fucking strange.
By the way, Rob said that we have a bunch of episodes in the can. You can watch them in the can. Take your phone in there. Join our
Just
Patreon.
don't drop it.
Yeah.
That's what most newer phones are waterproof for
really?
up to 20 minutes. So
Are they dookie proof?
I mean, you'd have to clean it off.
It's just gross to get it out,
Yeah.
more so than
You
the
gotta
phone
put it to
being
your
ruined.
face.
Yeah. I would never trust
sanitize it.
No matter how much I sanitize it, it would just come into my mind.
Yeah.
I did drop a phone in a public toilet once.
Oh no!
But I hadn't like used it. It was fresh water, so even though that's still a little questionable, but
Yeah, but Lily, at least there wasn't a floater.
But my phone, that wasn't a new phone. This was like 10 years ago, so
Hmm.
it didn't work so great after that.
Yeah.
So I do want to share. Sid actually took a photo of the Out for Justice.
There's the guy.
Here he is.
Just watching Out for Justice in doctor's waiting room.
It was kind of pointless to say on the show, but he looks exactly like a poker guy. That I know, like no one's gonna get it. The spitting image.
Very surprising. He was waiting. His ride was very late. He kept checking in with the receptionist to see, and then he'd just go back and watch Out for Justice some more.
Anybody seen the doctor?
It was amazing because I was in the waiting room for quite a while. So after he left, I was like, okay, so what's on the TV? And it was
Out for Justice.
no.
Under
First,
Siege.
it was Wendy Williams, but she's not hosting the show. I guess
Right.
she's retired or sick or something. So it was hosted by Finesse Mitchell and the lady who played the prostitute in that one episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm where he needs somebody to carpool with to the baseball game. So the two of them were hosting. It was very strange. And then it was the Nick Cannon show, which, holy shit, the Nick Cannon show is really bad. Oh my God.
What is it? What's the format?
It's just a daytime talk show, but it's Nick Cannon trying to be clever and fun, and it's just painful.
Nick Cannon trying to be Ellen, basically.
Yes.
So wait, they kept the name The Wendy Williams Show, even though she's gone from it?
Well, I think it's just for this season there because she announced that she's retiring because she's sick, and they're giving it to Sherry. What's her name?
Sherry Shepherd.
Oh.
Sherry Shepherd. Yes. And
How do you know
it's
so
gonna be the
much
Sherry
about
Shepherd. I just see, honestly, all through headlines. I have not read anything about this, but I've just seen retweets about it.
That show is awful. Like she's so weird. She's so awkward.
She's #iconic.
But I bet she's better than Finesse Mitchell and that other lady. Kim Whitley? Kim Watley? Something? I don't remember.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
If Wendy Williams, if you're listening, give us a call 213 Wide Nut. It's 213-943-3688.
Hold on, we have I think hold on.
Uh-oh.
We have a caller.
What?
Ну что, Николаевские наши власти.
Oh no.
Теперь здравствуйте вам.
Ma'am, what's your name? Where are you from?
It's the Russian Wendy Williams.
Кинули. Ваши ж пидорасы вот эти вот. Ваши
Oh, no.
пидоры. Вы знаете, я не буду говорить, где мы.
Oh, all right, we gotta hang.
Вы гандоны, блядь.
She's cursing. We had to let her go. So if you call up, please watch your language. No, that's not true. You can curse. Just kidding. So what did Mike Francesa say?
Oh yeah.
Did you send me that clip?
Hold on.
We'll get to that.
Oh,
Ваши ж пидорасы вот эти вот. Ваши пидоры. Вы знаете, я не буду говорить, где мы находимся.
Oh, that doesn't sound like Mike.
That's more Mad Dog. Mad Dog Ruski.
I don't get it, Mike. They're killing their own people. They're killing their own people. I saw it yesterday.
All right, here we go.
So this is very confusing to me because it appears to be like, I guess Francesa just had ESPN on and was doing commentary on muted ESPN college basketball. For some reason.
He does that. Like he'll if there's a day baseball game, he's like, "Oh, this guy just hit a home run." Okay. No, they're ahead. They're ahead now. Okay. All right. Okay.
But I've never seen this before.
12 seconds left. Spread the floor. Up top with the ball. Off the dribble. We're going to get a 3 here. Long 3. No good. Rebound. And another 3. And it's good. Oh. Shot the 3. Got the offensive rebound. Kicked it back out for the 3. They hoist it up. And Cincinnati. Oh, my God.
He sounds like Teddy from Bob's Burgers.
With 0.2 of a second left. I got to see if it's good. He banked it in from like 50, 60 feet to tie the game.
They go back.
They hoist it up, and Cincinnati. Oh, my God.
We gotta extract that.
Stubbed his toe. He wasn't even
With
looking at the
0.2
screen.
of a second left. I got to see if it's good. He banked
What
it
happened
in
was
like
he saw
50,
some. He
60
saw out
feet
the
to-
window. He saw somebody just got the last Diet Coke from the vending machine, and he was planning on doing it once this game ended.
He's just like
for the 3. They hoist it up, and Cincinnati. Oh, my God. Oh.
Or he had money
With
on the
0.2
game.
of a second.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
I love that.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
He knows that you can just turn that game on and just watch the real announcers, right? They call the game.
Oh, for Francesa After Dark.
The best way to describe Joe DiMaggio is he was a penis with a man hanging from it.
Oh dear, people.
Listen, I'd come in a second. You know what? All you need is one. All you need is one guy to come. That's what you need. You need one guy to come. I knew that Olajuwon was coming quick, and Olajuwon came so fast. He hasn't come fast enough. I want $10 million, or I'm telling everybody that I had sex with you. No, I want to pound a guy when no one's pounding him. I want to be the only one pounding a guy. They're going to see him basically with his pants around his ankles is what they're going to see with hookers. I remember how big Ewing was. He was underneath, and I was underneath doing it with him. Doing it with, Itzhak Perlman, or doing it with, whoever. Make it Liberace, or pick anybody you want. And then doing it with Derek Jeter, or doing it with Tiger Woods. Dog and I did.
Talking about Mariah Carey?
Joe Frazier a couple of times. They are just studs. They are in incredible shape, and you're going to have to play with those guys. I mean, rock hard. It's abnormally hard. They're just relentless. They just keep coming. They're not going to get tired. But he's come so fast. Oh, he's coming so fast. Such a load. And it's incredibly creamy and delicious. Very, very wet and big pussy. But he can't finish guys off. I have not seen the PPs. And what would get you excited? It's illegal to do that to a horse.
What?
There's a lot of guys I would say yes to. He gave it to me for 9 innings. Just ran, I'm telling you, up one side, down the other side for 9 innings. He gave it to me. Whoever that guy is in the audience, he knows who he is. I don't know who he is. He gave it to me for 9 innings that night. He rode me. He let me have it for the whole game. I got it a lot of times. That a couple of weeks there where I went places. I got it in a restaurant. It happens. It doesn't happen luckily much, but you know what? That time I took it. What am I gonna do?
What do we do?
Back after this.
Oh my god.
Yeah, back after this with the AFTA if you want to watch great content like that.
Is he happy that the baseball lockout is over?
Who, Mike, or back after this?
Mike.
Oh.
Actual Mike.
I haven't heard his refrain on that issue. I'm sure it gives him stuff to talk about other than the owners just being dickheads. Or was he even on the owner's side? Probably was.
I would think he was. I'm gonna look at his Twitter and see what he.
I'm gonna predict.
and
You tell him. You determine if I'm wrong. Play a little game show. I'm gonna say his stance was both the owners and the players are being silly, and they're both being greedy. They should get together and do something. Like he's not. Neither side. They're both wrong. Is my prediction.
I'm not seeing anything.
Oh my god.
Or at least nothing since the lockout has ended. Which is how does he not comment on that? The most recent baseball tweet is from February 28th. He says Manfred makes enormous mistakes on the public stage, but very few on the labor front. That is why he has a job. So seems like he's team owners
Yeah. He's right on that. I mean, a lot of people like Manfred's ruining baseball. Like, what do they think the commissioner is? Like a neutral party that makes things great for sandlots across America? Like he's the owner's lackey. Like he's their boy.
Yeah.
Like that's what they're supposed to do. Like he's doing his job. The MLB, the players have the MLBPA, and the owners have the commissioner, and they go head to head.
Yeah. Let's go Mets.
Where are they going?
World Series, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be nice. But just to even see them play would be nice at this fucking point.
Yeah.
What is it, April 7th now?
I believe so.
Well, didn't a friend of ours have a baseball?
Oh yeah.
A baseball rant?
I hope it's still up because he tends to delete his videos sometimes.
no.
But Mark B did a rant about
He's
the
one of the
MLB.
felt cute, might delete later kind of people.
Yeah, although I don't know how cute he feels.
He's cute.
Let's see.
Little teddy bear.
It's his most recent one. Is it 11 minutes?
Yeah, I think he did a note. I think it's the second to the last one.
Okay. Let's see.
I can tell you what day it is.
Okay, I got it. There we go. Do you hear it?
No.
I don't hear anything.
Oh. Okay, hold on. Well, I don't want to show his face.
No. Even though it's very cute.
It is. By the way, I know no one but Sid and I care about this, but the Mets home opener is Jackie Robinson Day when they will be wearing 42.
Nice.
April 15th.
Very excited.
Me too.
I
don't know if no, I can't hear it yet.
Oh.
I have I've been going to opening day with my mother every year since 1983. And I'm very proud of that streak. So didn't go in 2020, but I don't count that.
Yeah.
I didn't let anybody in the building. I tried. Did I ever mention this to you? I tried. I called up the Mets and I said, like, how much I got to pay you? Just let me inside with a press pass or something. So just rig it. Because I just want, I'll stay for one inning and leave. I don't care. I just want to say that I was at the game, so I keep my streak intact. And the guy I spoke to was very nice, and he was like, I wish I could do something for you. It's the government is on our ass, and like I would sneak you in if I could. It's a very touching story, but I will get fired, and anyone who lets you do that will get fired.
Kyrie Irving tried the same thing.
Well, yeah, he's allowed to sit on the bench now.
Yeah,
but he can't play in the game. He can move 5 feet towards. That just shows you what fucking coronavirus policy in this country is like.
It's very confusing.
I
keep seeing every day that like this week is the week they're going to change that rule, and then
it's the only NBA city in the country. There's 31 teams. Actually, the Knicks because they're also in New York, but
Toronto.
Toronto.
Different country. Kyrie can't play there either.
Oh, all right. I was wrong. But still, come on.
A different country.
28 teams allow the players to play. I mean, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Do you hear it? Oh,
no.
Wait. Do you hear it?
Give my opinion on
Yes.
the baseball situation. And I couldn't do it when I said I was because I had a nasty stomach bug that's going around. I'm all better. I'm fine. Let's roll.
Let's roll.
As everybody knows by now, baseball has been locked out for the past couple of months because these $1 million fucking piece of garbage asshole players who are worth millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Now hold on. For those of us who don't really follow, can you explain in like 1 or 2 sentences what's going on?
Mayor
Zirinsky.
Okay. Well, the issue at this time, because this was about a week and more ago, the owners, every few years, the players and the owners get together, and in every sport really, and they negotiate a collective bargaining agreement. It's like they have a union, and they say these are the parameters by which we think we can be paid fairly, and these are the benefits we need, and blah blah blah.
And the rules of the game, like everything gets
the rules of the game. and the owners say we want to give you less because that's what they do, and then they meet somewhere in the middle. So that expired this year. So they had no collective bargaining agreement. They got together and they were locking horns, and it got so bad that they couldn't agree on anything, and it delayed the season by a week, and it was dragging on and on and on. And that's what he's reacting to here. So the owners want to basically, the players by the end of this were just basically bargaining to get back to the place where they were last year. That's how bad it was. Like that, and that's basically what they agreed to, with some minor owners made some minor concessions, but they got the players kind of caved, I would say, because they really just wanted to get paid this year. They didn't want all these, a lot of them do make $40 million a year. A few of them make tons and tons of money, but most of them, the majority, are not millionaires. They might make $400K, $500K, $2 million. And they for them to sit out is not really benefit. Like you say, oh, $2 million is a lot of money, but they only get to make that money for 10 years, and you got to make as much as you can while you can.
And ultimately, so while yes, you have to put everything into context. To the layman, $2 million, it's like, oh, what are you complaining about? Right. But if you look at how much money the sport is making, how much money these owners are making, and these owners are making, like, the owners would not have a game without the players. There would be no league without these players. So the players need to be taken care of. I just looked it up. So for him to be calling these millionaires selfish just shows a textbook misunderstanding of what's going on. So NFL and NBA players have benefited from revenue growth as their collective bargaining agreements directly tie player compensation to revenues. Players in both leagues are guaranteed roughly 50% of revenue through their respective salary caps. That means half of the revenue that the NBA gets has to go to the players. And with baseball's collective bargaining agreement, they have no mechanism that ties salary to revenue. So while MLB teams added well over $1 billion in total avenue revenue between 2015 and 2019, salaries barely budge. That means the owners are making out like bandits and not sharing any of the profit with the players, who again are the whole reason there is a freaking game.
Oh, he's going to get to that. And this is I'm trying to preface, because he's going to get to this topic, but I always hear this argument that, like, well, teachers don't make any money, or so-and-so doesn't make any money, but why do these players want $40 million? And I keep reminding these people, your choices are not give it to the players or give it to a nurse. It's the players or the owners keep more of it. Those are your two options. So which one is worse?
And your teachers aren't getting paid enough because your city spent that money on a new stadium for the owner who refused to pay for it and threatened to leave the city if your city didn't build it for him. So once again, it ties back to the sports owners.
Great point.
I will say one thing about how New York did it. New York did it correctly because they made the two teams pay it back with interest.
Yeah.
A lot of these cities don't even do that. They just give them a gift.
Yeah. It's absurd.
More money. Now, we have players in baseball that are making hundreds and hundreds and thousands and millions of dollars.
Making hundreds.
All of the dominations.
A couple years ago signed a $400 million contract.
That's one player, though.
Yeah.
There's so many players that
he's still poorer than the poorest owner.
Yeah. 100%.
I believe that was for 11 years.
Derek Jeter bought 1% of the Marlins.
$100 million.
Okay.
And he has the nuts to ask for more.
I don't think he's asking for more for himself. I think he's asking more for the other player. I think he's fine with the $37 million.
Yeah, his contract is locked in.
Yeah,
he can't ask for more.
He's going to be 42 the next time he can ask for more.
Yeah.
Again, but also like a fundamental misunderstanding of what's going on here.
Can I also add, though, even if his understanding was correct and that player was asking for more, good. Give him more. Yeah. He deserves more.
Meanwhile, there are countries who have never seen that kind of money.
I don't think that's true.
We have homeless veterans.
I think even Liechtenstein.
Families that are barely eating, and this no good son of a bitch and his friends.
He's saying there's veterans that are barely eating but this guy wants more. Like, how is that correlated? Like, that money is not gonna. He's not taking money away from homeless veterans.
Yes, he is, Rob. That veteran can't go to a game and buy nachos now.
These greedy fucks
poor Harold
are asking
Radish.
for more money. The basic contract in Major League Baseball, for those of you who don't know, is about $3.5 million.
Not a year, right?
I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
Definitely not a year.
And it's not enough for them? Fuck you.
Also, can I say
Go
Harold
fuck
Radish
yourself.
is only malnourished because our friend here keeps stealing his lunch when they get together, and he just eats most of his sandwich.
That explains a lot.
You are being ridiculous and retarded.
Oh, come on now.
I didn't know they said
You are
sorry
making
for
more
airing
money than most people see in 4 lifetimes.
Okay. What about the owners?
There are families of 4 that are starving so bad
Never mentions the owners.
that they have to beg. Not only do they have to make food banks, but they have to
Also,
beg.
aren't like players way more charitable with their time and money than the owner? What the fuck are the owners doing for these poor people? Like, players have food drives, they do donations, they do toy drives.
They might fire off a check for tax purposes. That's about it.
To beg the government
What's Carl Pohlad doing for Harold Radish?
for food. Forget about paying their bills.
Did he stop? What's
very
happening?
upset.
So here's how we're going. So here's what I'm going to do personally.
Oh, what's he going to do personally?
As much as I'm a baseball fan, as much as I
Go
support
shoot
the
Mike
Yankees,
Trout.
I do watch the Twins. I do watch the Mets. I do watch baseball.
The Twins?
Not anymore.
Uh-oh. This is his protest.
You lost his dollar.
Major League Baseball can kiss my ass.
But isn't he just punishing the poor
I
owners?
am done.
Yes.
I get the baseball network. I'm going to cancel the prescription.
Ah!
Prescription, sorry.
I will not be taking
I have all
MLB
sorts
as
of
medicine
baseball
anymore.
jerseys.
I will not be
correct
seeking out
himself?
refills at the pharmacy of my MLB prescription.
Did
I
he
will
correct
tell
himself, though? I thought I heard him correct
Oh,
himself.
No.
Go back.
I am done. I get the baseball network. I'm going to cancel the prescription.
Even though it's free.
Subscription, sorry.
Oh, okay.
I have all sorts of baseball jerseys. I'm never going to wear them.
He's going to
But
burn them.
that's because
I
I
have
need
all
a
sorts of
7XL
baseball
now. They don't
hats.
fit anymore.
Never going to wear them. I have Yankee t-shirts, Twin t-shirts, Mets t-shirts. Never going to wear them. Never.
You don't leave the house anyway.
This is ridiculous.
Is he going to donate all that
You are
used
making
clothing
jackasses
to
of
homeless
yourselves in
veterans,
front
or
of
is he
your
just
fans.
gonna hoard it?
Yeah, make a little
And the more that you don't
tent for
play,
Harold Radish to sleep
the
in.
more fans will not go to ballpark.
Uh-oh. He's breaking down the business now.
It's already bad enough that we can't afford to go to one game.
Oh, the ticket prices
I went
are
to
because
Yankee
of the greedy
Stadium
players.
a couple years ago, and it was ridiculous. I was thinking about going to Paul O'Neill Day with the Yankees. Not anymore.
Sorry,
Forget
Paul.
about that.
Forget about that.
Fuck you, Paul. You're a player.
We have veterans in my hospital who are starving.
Okay.
Why?
We have people
I
who
don't
come-
understand. Isn't that a failure of your hospital? Should your
Yeah.
hospital be feeding them?
Yeah, you cook the food. That's his job. He's the chef. He really is the chef at the
Oh my God.
Veterans Hospital. You cook the food. If they're
They'd rather
starving, that's
starve.
on you, buddy.
I love that one of the comments is the power of your words are amazing. Yeah. it is.
Darren,
Come
did you
home
say
from
that? Or you
war.
just
No, I
Riley
actually,
gave
Darren
up.
commented something else.
I broke my rule of never commenting on a Mark B post because I had to say something because he was so fucking wrong
Uh-huh.
that I just basically said what we're saying now.
And did he respond to it?
No, I was
Uh.
I said it while he was live. I just happened to look at the video and I was hoping to engineer him into saying something to me.
Yeah.
Because he has say, "Hey, Brian, how you doing?" You know,
you wanted
was-
that shout out.
I wanted to shout out so we could have content, but it didn't work. It didn't work.
From war who get no money, no homes, no
doing
nothing,
sabermetrics
and
now.
you
It's about
motherfuckers want millions more?
I don't get it.
Again, those two things not related.
You're going to put your own sport out of business. That's what you're going to do.
They have $1 billion contracts. They're fine.
It'll be okay.
There's not going to be a Major League Baseball if you keep this nonsense up. It is time for baseball players to understand you cannot have these kind of contracts.
The thing that's so mind-blowing to me about this is there's hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of marks who are marks,
Yes.
who have these kind of takes that are so off base, but they're so sure of themselves.
Oh yeah.
And there's a whole industry of sports radio with these people. It's so insane.
They repeat back what's on the sports radio and on ESPN shows because there's again, we've been talking about social capital this whole show. There's a social capital to knowing this stuff, like having a strong opinion, because they see the guy or they hear the guy on the radio having the strong opinion. You got to bring that into your poker game or into your workplace, your water cooler, and you got to show what a smart, knowledgeable sports fan you are. You got to have a strong opinion. And they don't actually dissect the issue and think about it. No. They use what they heard on the radio as a stand-in for like having intellectual thoughts. Anyway, these players are so greedy.
Anyway, let's move on to our Spotify playlist. Every week we pick a few songs that we think you should check out, and we add them to our playlist, which we call the RAPL Livecast Music Break. You can just search Livecast Music Break on Spotify. And this week I put the new Meshuggah Signal Light the Shortening Fuse on. And during my travels, I was very excited because I got an advanced promo of the new.
You still get that even though you're not industry anymore?
That's right.
Wow.
I got some connects still. And what's so funny is Meshuggah is so protective with these promos that it self-destructs after 6 listens. I only get 6 listens until the album comes out. But the new album is very, very good. I really, really like it. And half of it is like Meshuggah sounding like Meshuggah, like what you would expect from them. And then half of it is them actually trying something a little more experimental and interesting, a little speedier, a little slower. So they released their first single. It's excellent. And that was my pick. Derinsky, what did you pick?
I played a song called Fundamental by Puya. That's like
you and my good friend Jose Mangan, both big.
Oh no!
Oh, yeah. Well, I could definitely see Jose Mangan liking this and Sid hating this.
They're one of his all-time favorites.
It's like they're Puerto Rican and it's like a prog metal, but also with salsa and like very traditional Puerto Rican dance music.
It don't fucking match. I'm sorry.
And it does somehow it works. Like if I heard that on paper, what I just said,
yeah,
I would say that sounds like it sucks, but it's really good. It's like also hardcore type vocals. It's like it's kind of discordant at times and then melodic at times. Very good bands. I approve. I don't love Jose Mangan though. That's Rob's territory.
I love Jose Mangan.
Did you crash at his place when you were in LA?
No, but I did see him. It was nice to see him. We caught up.
He recognized you?
Yeah, he did. We drank some tequila.
That was nice.
I love Jose. And some mezcal.
So problematic the way you pronounce that shit, man.
Well, any foreign word,
but especially like Spanish words. For some reason.
What? We were talking about Jose's good friend Robert Trujillo.
Oh. Jesus fucking Christ, man!
What? That's how you say his name.
No, it's not how I say his name.
That's how you're supposed to say his name. It's Trujillo.
No.
Trujillo. You say it like a Telemundo host. Trujillo. All right, I'm gonna stop. And Sid, what did you pick? What was your Spotify?
I picked a song by the band REM. I picked the song
I've heard of them.
That describes a thing I would never in a million years consider doing: night swimming. It's one of their prettiest songs. And REM is a band that I think of often because it feels like they've almost entirely disappeared from pop culture. You never hear them referenced. You never hear their songs and stuff anymore. I can't remember the last time I saw somebody in like an REM shirt. But they were, for a while in the 90s, they were like the biggest band on the fucking planet. And it's like they've ceased to exist in any meaningful way anymore. And it's really strange to me. Once in a while, I'll just think about like, why have we all agreed to just forget that band existed? It's so strange.
Yeah.
But they're
They
great.
actually-
They had a lot of great songs.
I agree. They came up on the radio the other day on Sirius XM. And I was like, oh, yeah, I love these guys. I haven't listened to them in a while. Just because they went
forget
away.
they exist. Yeah. But it's not like there's new Nirvana songs and you still see people in Nirvana shirts all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Just weird.
And night swimming is what you were doing on that bed next to Lonnie when he came on you intentionally.
Oh, no.
Gross.
I didn't know this, but Adam Scott and Scott Aukerman have an REM podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you, Columbia Neckbeard.
I was actually listening to Adam Scott on a different podcast this week, and somebody brought that up, and they were talking about like the same thing. Like, why don't people really care about REM anymore? What happened? And it's just very confusing to everyone.
What's the frequency, Kenneth?
It was a great song. That was already on their decline, but it was still a very good song.
I just, because you were asking a question, so I thought of a question song. By R.E.M.
Man on the Moon, great song. So many.
Yeah, great bands.
Dusty Rhodes Muffler says it's because the singer looks like Moby. Come on, Moby looks like Michael Stipe. Michael Stipe came first. Get it fucking right.
Yeah, and also having an ugly singer doesn't mean they're bad. Who cares?
I don't even know that Michael Stipe was necessarily that ugly. He was sort of, asexual sex symbol of the 90s, of that era. There were definitely worse looking people in music at that point.
Bob, would you fuck Michael Stipe?
No.
You probably could if you'd wanted to.
Let's say
I've
young
lived in
Michael
the city.
Stipe. He's like
I've seen
70,
him.
so it's not. I mean, when he was in his
No, he never
prime.
did it for me.
Yeah.
Never did it for me.
The rest of the band is quite homely, but Michael Stipe, I thought, he was fine for a front man of a, alternative band.
Fair enough. I always say I suck at this game. I don't know what man is attractive. I always think I do, though. That's the thing. Like, I think I know, and then someone who's actually attracted to men is like, "What the? You're insane. What do you? Either one way or the other." Like, I think he is attractive. He's disgusting.
Who
Or
do
I
you think is
he's
the
not-
most attractive man?
like celebrity?
Sure.
Wow, that's tough. I have a cliche answer, but Brad Pitt, I think, is attractive.
That's
Can't
a
go
pretty
wrong
safe choice.
with
Yeah, I
Brady
can.
Pitt.
But that's what jumps to mind. I don't know.
Dusty Rhodes Buffalo says the guy from Counting Crows.
It's gonna be who would Darren fuck? That's a man.
You Adam Duritz. You want to get in on that?
Duritsky, how are you? Come here. Come here, let me give you a kiss.
Could be Eskimo siblings with Jennifer Aniston.
Come here, let's sit here and count some crows naked.
Count his crow's feet.
Mr. Jones, me, and you in a threesome. Strolling through the barrio. And fucking.
That's the episode title. Strolling through the barrio and fucking.
We're not allowed to use curses, unfortunately. There were like 4 good ones. It's like the most we've had in a while.
Well, I think it's now time for our top Livecast fans of the week. Every day at the end of the show, we like to give a little shout out. How do you become a top Livecast fan of the week? Well, let me tell you about our Patreon once more. Patreon.com/RAPL Livecast. $10 a month. You're a top Livecast fan. You get access to all the $5 perks, plus a little shout out. What are we doing? What are we doing, folks? What are we doing? What are
You're
we
doing it like
What are we
that
doing?
angry Russian woman.
Eric the Gandon Pascuda Benjamin Eldurer, что ваши мамы... I don't know. Then our пошел ты нахуй, блядь, возьми Sam, I am with you. Ты поддона, Гандон, Mindy Mayer, Skip Agenda, Rob Ganush, a.k.a. Justin, пиздец, чтоб ты пошел нахуй, Шасур, Сосусец, Gandon. I just really like
Throw a
that.
Peter in there. We need a Peter.
Cattle Decaf, ты Peter, блядь. Dallas, I don't really like Peter, but Dallas and Robo Vampiro. Хуй пошли, блядь. Hugo likes tacos. Иди нахуй с вашими tacos. И Лендо Денкс, и Лакрой. Пошли вы нахуй, блядь.
Oh dear.
Corey and Scotty H, you're wonderful. Good people.
Say it in Russian.
Say
you're wonderful. Compliment them in Russian, but make it sound terrible.
Вы красивые, хорошие мальчики. That's it. Мальчики хорошие. I said, you're good boys. Doug Pigman нахуй, блядь. Douglas, who are you? Levison, who are you? You're a gandon, блядь. Hey guys, it's Josh. Пошел нахуй. All right, that's our show.
Вы все скинули. Ваши ж пидорасы вот эти вот. Ваши пидоры. Вы знаете.
I went right to Peter by accident. Sorry.
It's okay. Oh my God.
That's our show. Thank you for tuning in. We love you and kiss you. And we'll be back next Saturday. Hopefully.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Доме. А вы, пидоры, блядь, мы не люди здесь. Уберите нахуй войска от наших домов, чтоб мы вас гандоном не видели. Иначе, если нам, блядь, не включат свет сегодня, мы вас будем пиздить, как пиздили в ТикТоке россиян, блядь.